Hi, this video is on the Math 1332 final exam review. I picked some problems on the review that are similar to the final exam. So let's cover those problems. And I believe there are 24 or 25 questions on the final exam. So the first one says find the slope and the y-intercept of the equation. So to find the slope and the y-intercept, first of all, the y-intercept was where the graph crosses the y-axis. This is the y-axis, so this is the y-intercept. My y-intercept is at -2. A way to write that in coordinate form, x is 0, y is -2. So now doing the slope, if we start here, when you find the slope, you have to use 2 points that are in good spots, right on corners. You see, this spot here is not good because on the line because it's in between. But this spot is really good, and this spot is really good. So to find the slope, first of all, I know this is a positive slope because if I move from left to right, it goes up. So I know the slope is positive. And we go from this point to this point, we go up 2 and we go over 3. So we go up 2 and over 3. So my slope is a positive 2/3. So if I look at the equation y equals mx plus b, the slope-intercept equation, my slope is 2/3 and my y-intercept is a -2. So we can get rid of that plus sign. You can write it y equals 2/3 x because plus minus is really a minus. And there's my equation. This is my y-intercept. This is my slope. And this is my equation in slope-intercept form. All right, next problem. Identify the pattern here. Let's look at the numbers. We go 1 to 4. There's 3 different there. 4 to 8. 8 minus 4 is 4. 8 to 13. 13 minus 8 is 5. If you notice the pattern, it increases by 6. And so it should increase by 7 here. 19 and 7 is 26. So this one should increase by 8. 26 and 8 is 34. So that's the number part, 34. Now the letter part, we go X, V, T. Well, here's X, here's V, here's T, then R, then P, then N. If you look at that, look, it skips 2 going backwards. So the next one should be L. So the next number in this series should be 34L. Now, that's a tough one unless you write out the alphabet like I did there. All right, select the most valid estimate. 10 people ordered calculators. The least expensive, the cheapest one, was about $13. Do you see it? We're estimating. And the most expensive was about $90. Half of the people, there were 10 people. So 5 people ordered a calculator for about half ordered $21.95. So 5 people ordered for about $22. So 5 people ordered for $22. The least expensive was 19, and the most expensive was 89. Half ordered for $21. Let's find the average of those two, 90 and 13. It's about 100. If you look, and we're estimating, so about 50. So if 5 people ordered for 22, I'm going to say about 5 people might have ordered for about 50, the average of that. So 5 times 22 is 110, and 5 times 50 is 250. I'm going to say the answer is somewhere around $360, which is the closest to $360. It looks like E in this case. So once again, we were just finding the estimate, about an estimate of the thing. Normally you do the average, but since they said 5 people ordered at 22, then I would do the remaining 5 about the average. And the average, if you looked at 50 or the highest and the lowest, it was around $50, the average. Could have been a little bit more than 50, so this would have got closer to 400. Once again, the answer was 400. So it's an estimate. Okay. Use the sets below to answer questions 16 and 17. So once again, these are 2 separate questions on the test, since we have 2 separate questions here. Find the complement of A. So A is pretty much everything opposite that's in A. Here's A. This is my universal set. The complement of A, one way of writing the complement of A is this. It's also known to write it like this. The complement of A is everything that's not in A. A is in A. That's not in the universal set. C is in A. E is in A. G, I, and K. So everything, all these that I marked out in the universal set are in A. So what's the complement is another way of saying not A. This is not in A. B. This is not in A. D. F is not. H is not. And J is not. So this is the complement of A. B, D, F, H, J. So I'm on number 17. We're going to find this. So I'm going to erase this. The great thing about this video is you can hit rewind. I'm going to go ahead and erase it. And now do number 17. So we're going to do what's in parentheses first. A intersects C. This is the intersection. What's in common with A and C? The intersection. Look in A and C. What letters are the same in A and C? G's are the same, and K's are the same. So the intersection of A and C are G and K. Do you see what's in common with A and C is G and K? So that's A and C, but we still have to union that with B. So let's put B here. B is A, B, C, D, E. There's B. So there's B, there's A intersects C. We want to do a union of the two, a marriage of the two. In other words, everything in this group and everything in this group is going to come down into my new answer group. There's an A, there's a B, there's a C, there's a D, there's an E, there's a G, and there's a K. Everything goes in. If there are 2, one in each, only one comes down to the new set. So this is the answer. I did the A intersect first and got this. I know B is this because I got that from up here. And then I unioned the 2, did a marriage of the 2, and this is what I got. A, B, C, D, E, G, K. Okay. Next problem. On the test, it'll be multiple choice and you'll get to pick the correct ones. It's hard to see this on this paper, but this is shaded in and this is shaded in. Oh, how did I erase that? All of this is shaded in. So I would write, do you see how A is part of the answer? A. If I do A, then there's this little piece left here. And you could actually look at this piece. So if you look at this piece right here, that piece in red is C intersect B. Do you see how those two, what's in common with C and B, that piece? So this is A, and that's C intersect B. So if I do the union of A and C intersect B, it will be everything that's in there. All right, going to the next problem. A survey of 400 students was taken. And we have to construct a Venn diagram, it says. Of those surveyed, 180 were art, 150 were Spanish, and 50 were both. So we're only dealing with art and Spanish. There's my art, and here's my Spanish. They overlap because 50 are both. You see, 50 we're taking both. So we know there's 400 altogether in the universal set. 180 were taking art. So if art should add up to 180, then 180 minus 50, which is 130, equals just the A part. Do you see this and this have to add up to 180? 180 is art. Now, Spanish is 150. We already have 50 here. So we have to have another 100 in Spanish because 150 was in Spanish. So we have 130, 50, and 100. What does that add up to? 130 and 50 is 180 plus 100 is 280. Well, they said there were 400 students altogether. 130 plus 50 plus 100 is 280. There's supposed to be 400 students together. If I subtract 280, I'm missing 120 students somewhere. There's 120 students that did not take art or Spanish. In other words, they're part of the universal set. So 120 are on the outside. When you do these, you always try to do the intersections first, what's in both. And we've done that in class. All right, let's try the next problem. So let's try problem 20. And remember, in Eulers, there are 4 pictures that we could draw. This one is B, and then this one is A, and this is all A are in B, right? All of A is in B. Then there's another picture. No A is in B, are B's. Then there was another picture, A and B, and some A's are B's. And then there was another picture to explain this area here, and no A are B's. this area here, those are not in B. So no rectangle is a triangle. It should look like this. No rectangle is a triangle. Do you see when we say no rectangle is a triangle? Then it says some rectangles are squares. So in other words, the rectangles should be matching up with squares. I'm using the actual shapes. So therefore, no triangle is a square. Now, according to the way I wrote it here, it looks like this. They want to know if this is valid or not. But can I write it a different way? If there's one way you can write it and it doesn't make sense, then it's invalid. So let's try this again. No rectangle is a triangle. We did this. Then it says some rectangles are squares. So if I put a square in here and it comes this far, do you see squares can be in triangles because I can draw it that way. Some are in here, so some are, therefore no triangle is a square. However, in this picture, triangles and squares match up. So this statement is actually invalid. So this makes it look valid. However, I can write it like this and it becomes invalid. One invalid way of drawing it makes the whole thing invalid. Let's try to do it now with just, did I erase everything? Yeah, I did. All right. If you do not sleep, you will not miss school. So if you do not sleep, if you do not oversleep. So if I don't oversleep, I will not miss school. So this is a tough one. This is not oversleep. If you do not oversleep, you will not miss school, and this is not miss school. Now I miss school. Miss school is not in here. Miss school is over here. Therefore, you overslept. And I'm calling this valid because there's not another way I could draw this. So this is overslept. No, this is miss school. I miss school. There's no way of me drawing the miss school to where in the overslept, because it says if you do not oversleep, you miss school. This is a tough one. I'll tell you I'm calling this valid. This is a tough one. Hopefully I know on the test it won't be this difficult. They're actually going to give you the 4 choices on this also. So this, that number 21, it's valid, but it's not it's not a good question for a review. All right, I'm going to keep on going. Latoya buys a used car priced at $10,400. She puts 23% down. What is her down payment? So if there's 10,400 and 23% down, that means you just multiply this by 23%. And that's going to tell you how much you put down. So on your calculator, just do 10,400 times 23. Don't forget the percent symbol, or you can change it to a decimal first. I would just use the percent symbol. And the down payment is $2,392. So you're just going to put that in your calculator. So Marcus invests $2,500. That's the starting amount, the principal. This is the interest rate, compounded monthly, n equals 12 for monthly. How much does he have in the account after 4 years? Years equals 4. So we're using the compound interest formula. Grab your formula sheet, and the compound interest formula for future value, A is how much we're going to have, P times 1 plus R N times NT. So the starting amount was 2,500. The interest rate was 8%. We're compounding it monthly. 12 times, and the number of years is 4. N is 12. The number of years is 4. And we're going to put that in our calculator. 2,500, parentheses, 1 plus fraction, 8%. And I'm putting a 12 in there, arrow over, parentheses. I'm going to raise it to a power in parentheses. 12 times 4, close the parentheses. And I get 3439.17. If I round it to 2 decimal places, I got 0.165, and that rounds to 0.17. That's number 24. I'm just going to check my answers. However, the problem says, even though it doesn't say it here, if you round it, no, that's it. That's the answer that they give us. You're always rounding to the cents unless they say something different. Alrighty. Juanita receives $300 per month in a mutual fund that historically earns 8% growth, compounded monthly. That means N is 12. After 25 years, time equals 25 years. How much will she have in her mutual fund? Juanita invests $300 every month. So she's putting $300 every month into this investment firm. This is an annuity. So to find out how much she will have, how much will she have in her mutual fund 25 years from now in the future, you have to get the mutual fund, the annuity future value. Once again, A is the future value, how much it is. The formula is payments. Use your formula sheet. 1 plus R over N, NT, minus 1, all divided by RN. Okay, so let's put that in. Our payments are $300. 1 plus the interest rate is 8% over N, which is 12, raised to N, which is 12, and T is 30 years, or 25 years, sorry, there's 25 years. Minus 1, and all this is going to be divided by, that's an R over N. Interest rate is 8% and N is 12. So put that in your calculator. Let's see if I can do it. I'm hitting fraction first. 300 parentheses, 1 plus fraction 8%. Wrong symbol, 8% over 12. Close the parentheses, raise it to a power, start a new parentheses, 12 times 25. Close that parentheses, put the arrow button and put it down, -1. We've practiced all these on our calculator already, so hopefully you have this down. Parentheses, fraction, 8% over 12. And I get 28,307.92. Perfect. So the answer I got was 28,307.92, rounded to 2 decimal places. 28,005. Wait, it's 200 and got the comma in the wrong spot. 285,307. That's a tough one on the calculator. I think I'll show the next one on the calculator if we do that. All right, number 28. A mortgage on a home is 15600. It is financed for 15 years. Under this interest rate, what is the monthly payment? So that's the fixed installment loans, right? When you buy a house or a car, you use to find the payment, you use the payment formula, and it's P over R over N divided by 1 minus 1 plus R over N to the negative NT and bracket. So let's try to fill this in. This is the principal, not the payment. The principal is 156,000 times the interest rate, which is 4.2%, divided by monthly payment. So N is 12. 1 minus 1 plus the interest rate, once again, is 4.2% over 12, raised to a negative N. N is 12 and T is 15 years. This is a negative and this is a multiply. Let me do the multiply in red. There. I don't know, what did I do with the color? What else? Oh, and there's another bracket here. All right, so let's put this into our calculator, and you can watch me type it in if you can see that. I'm going to type in a fraction. 15600 parentheses, another fraction, 4.2%, arrow down to 12, arrow over, close my parentheses, and then move down. Parentheses 1 minus parentheses 1 plus fraction, 4.2% over 12. Close the arrow over, close this parentheses, raise it to a power. The power is negative 12 times 15 years. Close parentheses, arrow over, and close that final parentheses. So I got it all in there, and sure enough, something's wrong. Oh God, how can I change that? Uh, let's see where I went wrong. Is that the error? Maybe I hit subtraction and not that it was flashing, so maybe that was the error. 12 times. So I think it's all right now. I think I used a subtraction sign instead of multiply. Subtraction instead of the negative sign. So now when I hit enter, I get 116.96. And this is question. Oh, so I'm close. I just typed something in wrong somewhere because it says it's 116961. I have a decimal place in the wrong. Oh, I didn't type in the whole. Anyway, the answer you should get. The answer you should get is 1169.61. Because if you go back to my problem, can I go back? I didn't type in 156000. I missed a zero. So my answer came out one decimal place wrong. But I did have the right numbers. Okay. There you go. All right. Let's keep going. A credit card charges 1.6 interest per month on a average daily balance. If the unpaid balance is 1968.23 and the daily balance is this, find the balance due with interest. Okay, so for this problem, we're starting off with 1968.23. Our average daily balance was 1789.32. And our interest is 1.6 for the month. So this is our average, you always multiply your interest times your average daily balance. So it's 1.6% times that, and I get $28.86. So if I owe the credit card this much and I earned this much interest, I just add those two up and I get nine. I don't know what I get. Let me add it up. 1968.23 plus 28.86. I get 1997.09. Okay. Something is a little off. Did I not type something incorrectly? Okay, so 1789.32 times 1.6% is not that. It's 28.63. So if I add 1968, let me clear this out and show you this again. My starting balance is 1968.23. My average daily balance is 1789. This is what I do with my interest rate, 1.6%. When I multiply those two together, I get 28.63. So I add, this is how much I owe the credit card. This is my interest, 28.63. It ends up being 1996.86. So that's my final balance on my credit card. So for this problem, a family's gross income is $58,000. What is the maximum monthly credit obligation they should have? On your formula sheet, it says affording a home, total monthly credit obligation has to be less than or equal to 36% of your monthly gross. So we're just multiplying this by 36%. So on my calculator, 58,000 times 36%, my monthly credit obligation is 20,800 and that is the yearly income. So this is the yearly. It says your total monthly is 36%. This is yearly, so I have to divide it by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. Divided by 12, and I get $1,740. Okay. So a person buying a birthday cake, there are 20 different flavors. 20 flavors that I can pick from. 10 icings, flavors, icings. 8 different fillings, and 7 different candles. How many choices do I have? Well, you just multiply those together. 20 times 10 times 8 times 7, and you get 11200. 112, 11,200. 11,200 different possibilities. A school track team with 18 members is to choose 4 different members of the relay: lead off, position 2, position 3, and the anchor. So they're going to pick 4 spots, and each spot has a different title. So the order matters. And the only reason I know a little bit about this is I did run track in high school. And the anchor is usually the fastest guy, and then the second fastest guy is the guy who leads us off. So these other guys are fast, but they're not as fast as those other 2 guys. So the order matters. I have to pick a track team with 18 members. Have to pick 4, and order does matter. So that is a permutation. A permutation is when order matters. So let's see what that is. We have to go to our calculator. 18 permutation 4. Type in 18 first, and then probability. Permutation is number 1. 4, and we get 73,440. So the answer to this is 73,440. Different ways of selecting 4 guys for that track team. In how many distinct ways can the letters of the words parallelogram be arranged? Well, we have to find out. Remember, the formula for this is n factorial divided by repeating letter factorial. So, R factorial, S factorial, T factorial, and so on. In other words, n is the total number of letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the top is n, 13 factorial. Now, how many repeating letters? And you don't need to put letters that don't repeat, because 1 factorial is still 1. There's only 1 P, so I don't need to put it there. But I have 3 A's, so I have a 3 factorial for the A's. R's, I have 2 R's, So I have to put a 2 factorial down there. L's, I have 1, 2, 3 L's, 3 factorial. E's only 1, O's only 1, G's only 1, and M's only 1. So this should be my answer if I type it in. I'm going to type in fraction 13 factorial. Remember, go to probability and number 3 for factorial. Divided by 3 factorial, which is really 6, times, and that's 3 factorial times 2 factorial times 3 factorial. So when I put this in my calculator, I get 864,864,000. There are 86 million different arrangements. How many ways can a committee of 3 students and 4 faculty be selected from 24 students and 8 faculty? So we have to select 3 students from 24, and it's in a committee. So when I pick these 3, they have the same job. So the order doesn't matter. When I pick those 3, it doesn't matter who's first or who's second because they don't have a specific job. Order does not matter. So that's a combination. So that's one answer. And now we got to get the faculty. We got to multiply it by faculty. There are 8 faculty, and we have to pick 4. Order doesn't matter. So I'm going to put that in my calculator and multiply those 2 together. 24 probability number 2 with a 3 times 8 probability number 2 with a 4, and I get 141680. Don't forget, all the answers are in the back of your workbook of this review sheet. All the answers are in the back of the workbook. Committee has 12 students and 6 staff on it. Find the probability selecting a subcommittee of 4. Okay, so if you look at the last problem, it says in how many ways. This is the different ways it was possible to pick. In this next problem, we're looking for the probability. So probability is finding the decimal equivalent, not just the ways. Remember, finding probability, the number of desired outcomes over the number of total outcomes. So I'm going to do total first. We have 12 students and 6 staff. In other words, we have 18 people, and we're going to pick 4. So we have 18 people, and the order doesn't matter because it's a committee. There's no specific jobs, and we're picking 4. That's our bottom. That's our total. We're picking 4 from 18. Do you see? That's the start. We're picking 4 people from 18. These are all the different ways of picking 4 from 18. So now I have to pick, find the probability of selecting a committee of 4 people who are all students. So now there's 4 out of 18. We have to pick 4 just for students. So it's going to be 12C4. We're picking 4 just students. This is our desired outcome, just the students. this is how many people and everybody there is. We're picking 4 from all those people. So we put this in our calculator and we get our probability. Well, oh, I should put it in a fraction and then do 12 probability C. And then I go down and do 18 probability C4. And my calculator gives me 11 over 68. That's cool. All right, moving on. The grade of a third exam are listed. Construct a stem leaf. Now, they put the stems. Me personally, I would have put the lower numbers on top. Remember, 9 stands for 90. 8 stands for 80, 70, 60, because we're just dealing with tens numbers. So look for all the 90s first up here. I have a 94, a 90. There's the leaf is the first digit, and the stem is the second digit. So stems are 90. That's a 90. And I have a 94. I have a 93, a 98, 95, 92. That's my 90s. Then I go to 80s. By the way, you can go ahead and rearrange these in order if you want. 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. You can go ahead and arrange them in order if you want also, if it helps. Then I go to 80s. I have an 82, 83, 81, 89, 86. And don't forget, we're not putting commas. We're just leaving spaces between them. 83. There's another 83, so you have to put both of them. 80, 84, and so on and so on. So that's what you do. You're going to do the same thing for 70s, 60s, and 50s. That's the stem leaf. Find the mean, median, mode, mid-range for all of these. Let's take a look. We're just going to type this in. Let me type in mean, median, mode, mean, median, mode, and mid-range. So we're going to put all these into list 1 in our calculator. To go to list 1, you hit data. So first you hit data button, and delete everything that's in the list. If it's clear L1. Okay, I think I found it. Clear. Hey, I found it. You can go to L2 list to clear it. You can go to L2 list and then hit the data again and clear L2, and L2 will be gone. All the list L2 will be gone. So I knew there was a way to do that. So I'm going to put in list 1, I'm putting 34,100. In list 2, 42,100. List 3, 42,800. Not list in this position. 45,600. 675,000. And 675,000. So there's our 6 spots that we entered into list 1. Now to find the mean, you go to probability. You put the data into list 1. Then we go to probability, PRB. We don't go to probability. We go to stat, which is second data. We go to second button, and then data, which is the stat button. And do number 1 var stats. Hit enter. Our data is in list 1, and there's nothing in list 2. So you have to arrow over and hit enter and type in ONE, and then hit enter, and it'll give us our average, and our average is on here. My average now is my mean. The mean symbol on your calculator is that 252433.33. Median, scroll down till you see MED, and the median is 44200. The mode is the number that occurs the most often, and that is 67,000. And mid-range is the highest plus the lowest divided by 2. So the highest number is 67,500. The lowest number is 34,100, and divide that by 2. 354. Let me just do it on here. 675,000 plus 34,100 divided by 2. And the mid-range ends up equaling 354,550. All right. Number of miles per gallon is this. Find the range of the data and the standard deviation. So range we can do, range is the highest minus the lowest. Range and mid-range are 2 different things. So mid-range was highest plus the lowest divided by 2. Range is the highest minus the lowest. The highest piece of data up here looks like it's 38. The smallest piece of data up here looks like it's 16. So the range is 38 minus 16, which is 22. Now we need to find the standard deviation. And this is, I'm going to put SD, the standard deviation. This is the symbol. In order to find this, you have to put all of this into list 1. So let's put all of these numbers into list 1. So what I'm doing is going to data, and I have something in list 1 again. So I'm going to click on, trying to get it to focus. Good luck. There. To erase the list, just click on data and hit clear list 1. and list 1 is gone. So I'm going to type in all of these numbers. 38. Oh, Lord. 31, 43, 20, 27, 17, 33, 28, 22, 35, 16, 21, 32, 31, and 25. So I typed in 15 pieces of data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. To find a standard deviation, we do the same thing we just did for mean. Go to second data, which is probability, number 1 var stats, where we only have stuff in list 1, so we leave it like this. Hit enter, enter, enter. And our standard deviation symbol is number 4. So my answer is 7.56 if I go to 3 decimal places. If I typed it in correctly. Let's see if I typed it in correctly. Because I'm getting a different answer here. I got a different answer. Oh, did I? I think I did something wrong. What was my highest piece of data up here was 43 and my lowest was 16. So it should be 43 minus 16 on my calculator, which is 27. There we go. 43 minus 16. Now my standard deviation, it says 7.82. I didn't get that, so I must have typed in some data wrong. I'm going to go check it really quick. 38, 31, 43, 20, 27, 17, 20. There's one that I typed 17, no, 33, 28, 22, 35, 16, 21, 32, 31, and 25. It looked like I typed in all my data correct. I think they used the wrong one. Oh, wait a minute. Remember, I talked about in class. I talked about if they said sample. So in the review, there's a sample. This was the population. If they don't say sample, you have to use that symbol. But this one, it does say sample. So you have to find this symbol on our calculator. You have to find. See, I didn't get that on my calculator, and I'm sure you didn't either. Look at our data again, and we're back. If I could, second stat, number 1 var stats. Do you see here? Oh, see, I changed the numbers. This is the sample standard deviation. So let me check my data really quick again. I had changed a number. And I don't want to clear anything. So let me get back. So 38, 31, 43, 20, 27, 17, 33, 28. There we go. 33, 28, 22. Now when I go to second stat, number 1. I pushed the buttons too many times. I still have a data point wrong. Give me a second till I fix it. So I finally got my data correct. And we were looking at this number. That's your population standard deviation. But this problem says sample. This is our sample. This is population. This one is sample. So if it says sample, you have to use this number, 7.82. So that's how we got 7.82 for a standard deviation. It's a different symbol. It's called the sample standard deviation. And the other one's just called standard deviation. We refer to that as the population. On these last two questions on the review, when you get to these on the test, just guess at them. Who is the best Cowboy quarterback of all time using the pairwise comparison method? You can go ahead and guess. I'm going to give you credit for these two, and then it says which voting method. So the two questions on voting, the Cowboy one, and I think it's very similar on the test, and the other voting question, I'm going to actually give you credit for these since we didn't cover these two. I'm going to give you credit for both those and give you the points back if you miss those. All right, so that is the review. That pretty much covers everything on the review. 25 questions on the test. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope this review does help you.